Hey guys, Forrest here from ForrestVanceTraining.com. I have a special presentation for you today. It's on 3 good ways to injure yourself working out. So here's the situation. You're finally getting your workout schedule dialed in, you're shedding body fat, you're gaining lean muscle, and just as you're really hitting your groove, that old nagging injury rears its ugly head. You could maybe even be getting pain somewhere new, like your shoulders, your knees, lower back are the biggest common problem areas for clients that I work with, and for most adults that do any kind of activity or are not active as well. And so ultimately, no matter what your fitness goals are, and no matter what your specific situation is, it's hard to make progress. It's impossible to make progress if you can't work out because you're injured. And it's a really all too common phenomenon. The good news is that many of these injuries can actually be prevented by following a few simple guidelines. So I'm going to give you 3 good ways to injure yourself working out, and obviously these are things that you don't want to do, and then a few tips to help you avoid them. Okay, so the number one way to injure yourself working out is using bad form. Okay, and so when we're building a workout routine, really we need to pay as much attention to how we're doing specific exercises as we do to which ones we choose, the amount of sets and reps that we do of each, and etc. In other words, we need to pay as much attention to the form we're using as we do to the actual programming of the workout. So let's take squats, for example. So a squat is a very highly functional exercise that you actually have to do every day, whether you like it or not. When you get up out of a chair, when you get out of your car, you're doing some kind of version of a squat. And there's a common perception out there that squats are actually bad for your knees. But 99% of the time, the truth is it's not squats that are bad for your knees, it's how you're doing them that's bad for your knees. So get some proper instruction and make sure that you're using great form in your workouts. Number 2 way to injure yourself working out would be poor core strength. So if your core, and that includes the muscles not only in your abdominal region and back, but also those in your pelvic floor and hips, is weak, you won't be able to properly stabilize the trunk and spine, and you'll greatly increase the likelihood of injury. So let's take the example of doing a simple push-up. If your core strength is lacking, you'll have a very hard time keeping proper form and alignment. Your hips may sag towards the floor, for example. Or your shoulders may shrug up towards your ears, which will in turn put extra stress on those common problem areas listed above and lead to eventual pain and injury. So building up great core strength, adequate core strength to what you want to do, is very key to keep yourself injury-free. Okay, and the last thing would be poor flexibility and mobility leads to lots of workout injuries. Okay, so that would be like lack of flexibility for everyday movements. For example, if you don't, when you go to do any movement and you don't have the flexibility in the right places to do it, you end up overstressing certain parts of your body. So for example, if you go to pick up something off the floor, but you lack the flexibility and you do it with proper body mechanics, you end up compensating in other areas of your body to do that movement, which over time can lead to pain and injury. So that's another big factor in terms of getting injured while you're working out. So just kind of to wrap things up here, using bad form, having poor core strength, poor flexibility and mobility are 3 ways you can very easily injure yourself while you're working out. And a good place to start would be print and video learning. Okay, there's tons of video floating out there on the internet. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. And same thing with print. There's a lot of great workout books out there, and there's some that aren't so good. So if you can find some quality material, that's a good place to start. And in reality, the truth of it is really that no amount of print or video learning can replace in-person instruction. So my top recommendation would be to hook up with somebody who knows what they're talking about to teach you how to do all these things, help you build a program that's right for you and your goals, and help you get there in the fastest and most injury-free way as possible. So that is all I have for you for today. Till next time, Forrest from ForrestVanceTraining.com.